Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to SIGNALIS. And last time, our entire world was rocked. Well, not just one world, but back and forth between worlds. Our order of events out of chronological order? Am I going back between a dream reality and a real one? I have no idea. All I know is that I made a promise and I have to keep it, so now that we've got our new safe room, let's grab our stuff. Some of the dialogue, including other than our own, has sort of alluded to the idea that all of this is happening cyclically, that it's all happened before, that it will happen again, and that to some extent we're aware of it. But not everything is the same. Even though this is a familiar area from earlier, it's all more run down, like everything has progressed to a greater extent. A lot of this is either redacted or illegible. Object 4B, it's about the wall safe, but we can't read any of it. Like, oh no, like the game itself is falling apart. And more doors cannot be opened. You've been here before. Yes, we have. And here we can get more grenade shells. Or wait, oh maybe they go with the flare gun. Hang on. Yes, they do. Okay, yeah, it says it in the description, but that made sense. Wait. The same combination. And here we find another classroom key, if we could carry it. Also, sorry about the rain and the wind outside, it's really picked up. Perfect weather for a climax, though, isn't it? And I have a feeling we are approaching the end of this. If we're quick... Nope! Oh, there's one of you here, too. Okay. Tougher enemies here as well. And I can't see anything. Oh, I forgot to take the flashlight modules. It's so dark in here. It's all just darkness and flies and filth. And I can see a buddy in the dark there. Well, with one additional flashlight and a couple of hits from those enemies, should be good to go now. Bang. 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 Let's stomp you both. I need all of the revolver shells I can get now, because it's kind of become my primary weapon. Oh god. Yep, now would have been a good space to use some of those shells, but we can use the classroom key and get in. Good thing we grabbed that first. Good thing we remembered the code. Actually, I sort of wonder what would happen if we checked out the radio. Horrible things, but nothing that helps us. We jumped down this hole before, but it's grown so much worse. You say it looks like you can drop down safely. Clearly you see something that I don't. Adler, you've changed. Yeah, you're not looking too hot yourself. It's like everything was taken apart and put back together by someone who doesn't understand how it works. I have become whole again. I wear no mask. And I hate everything. Perhaps this is hell. And now... we haven't seen this before. Also, it's only now I'm putting together, or at least the first time I'm consciously realizing, that the number 6 appears all over the place. The rule of 6, always needing 6 keys to do something. And 6 planets in this solar system, or at least 6 inhabited planets. Oh, I see. Perhaps we're supposed to work out like a cycle? It looks like the dial ring is missing, so that one cannot be changed. And this symbol right here, that's the main logo of the game. It's a hole through the wall which we can peek through. Actually, when you look at it that way and see the room beyond, not unlike the one we crawled through in the very beginning. And this area seems to be in better shape than where we came from. 2 open doors on the right, and 1 more on the left. Two enemies, and they are of the unshelled variety. A submachine gun! Okay, I was not anticipating this. And no space to carry 8mm ammo. But look at that. Automatic submachine gun with a collapsible stock. Fires 3-round bursts of 8mm compact ammo from a 30-round magazine. Oh, it's a whole bunch of emails. From Yon Commando. Your requisition request for a Type 84 submachine gun was successfully processed. Door keys. The locksmith said it will take at least a period until the replacement key is done. My niece currently has the only other key, but she's still at the hospital right now. Be careful. To the block ward of Sector C, there are rumors that there is an Imperial spy active in your area. A Protector Special Operations unit has been dispatched from Yon headquarters on Heimat to investigate, and should arrive within 6 to 12 cycles. Needless to say, should they be successful, this will not reflect well on your record. You know what to do. Seasonal review. As every season, your performance will be subject to a review by local command soon. Remember that this review will determine if you will be marked for replacement. Literally, a life or death performance review. Bookstore keys. I understand you need entry to the bookstore for your patrol, but we do not have a spare key for the front door. However, you can use the back entrance to get into the store. It's secured with a keypad. The code is the birthday of my daughters. Note, they were born on Dignetta. Check the last 6 digits of their PKZ numbers. Kind regards, Anja Tao. We've seen some of these last names before. Relocation. No. Well, I suppose we could download all this for further reading, if we need them for reference. There's some thermite, there's a lot of stuff, but this is another safe room, so that's excellent. Good place for it. Well, in that case, we can pick up said 8mm ammo, equip it, and let's give it a try. A couple of baddies out in this hall here, and we want them down. Okay, and for you, we're gonna need the revolver. Come on now. You down? You down? Is there one more? I can't tell. No, that's all of you. There was one more off-screen. Well, that's a significant chunk of all of our ammo. So that's scary. We can reload for the full amount. But it does do good damage. Block wart. It's your duty. Report suspicious elements immediately to the block wart. Looks like the armor we're now wearing. What a strange passover of light. Almost like the whole base is in motion or something else bright passes over us. Oh, no. Hello. That is so dumb how you can just spawn under me like that. I feel like most of the damage I've taken in this game has been, like, unavoidable, and it's really annoying me. Alright, so you're gonna come out through there silently. Shoot. And shoot. And you're down. Oh god, there's another one. Shoot. And shoot. More shotgun rounds. We're gonna have to start using that again soon now that we've built up a decent stockpile. And more grenade shells. Was this room worth it? Not really so sure, to be honest. Anything else? Oh, there's a ladder. Still no... Oh, no, we do have a map now. Excellent, excellent. Man, for an entire act of the game, we just didn't have one. But before we mess with that, I'm going to check the door at the end of the hall, which we can use. Another painter. Not just any painter. It looks like there's a playing card embedded in the paint of the painting. The paint layer is too thick to remove the card without dissolving the paint first. So we'll need to find some, like, acetone or something. It all comes back to us. This whole world revolves around us. It's just a matter of deciding which reality is reality. Well, that gets us back upstairs. It's locked and requires a key. The door is labeled room 0512. Alright, how are we dealing with this? You know what? I think we might want to start using our thermite more. I'm going to make a point of keeping one save open so that I can go back to before the other thing. And, oh no, you're a shieldy. Come on. Make a move! There we go. And that should be both of you down for good. Come on, stay down, please. Thank you. I was really worried I'd have to stomp you and I wouldn't do it in time. But that frees us up some. This hallway will never have enemies again. And we've got a ton more still in storage. Yep, dark rooms. Dark rooms are never my friend. There's starting to be more enemies than I can really deal with. Wind is so loud out there. There's a valve wheel over there. And we want it. Monfest celebrations canceled over safety concerns. The seasonal Monfest celebration, a young but well-established tradition in most broadfront sectors, will not be allowed to take place until further notice, the Protector Public Office has announced today. There's a credible threat to public safety that is currently under Protector investigation. Citizens are only to leave home for work and report all suspicious activities to their block warden. When pressed about the rumors of an Imperial spy living in Sector C, the Protector Public Office only repeated their appeal to citizens to report all suspicious activities to a Protector. Alright, we're just gonna... There's revolver ammo over there, but it's not worth going for, I think. Yep, okay, grab it. Oh my god, I hate how they can keep moving while we're opening stuff up, because there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing over here. Our health still looking alright. Can we load you up with grenade shells? I need signal flare shells to reload it. What? But it's the same thing. Unless I combine... Oh, I see. I have to do it manually. I'm curious. We have a bunch of these grenade shells. I'm curious. And we got guys back here. But then again, it's dark. Yep. We just gotta be quick about it. I don't know how big that grenade is, and I don't know if it'll come back and hit me at that distance. Oh, there's a few of you. Come on. Ow! Where'd you go? I'm out of ammo. I'm completely out. Come on. Come on now. Revolver. There's not a lot of ammo in the game at this point. And stomp. We need to get done with this place quickly so that we just never have to come back here again. Stolen document. Classified information. Replica technician Gestalt eyes only. Carefully selected by Jan, exemplary citizens of the nation are permanently cryogenically preserved in neural archives, each becoming a neural pattern for a new replica model. To preserve the image of the replica as an incorruptible ideal, the original Gestalt is erased from records and public memory. The one earlier that said it remembered its name, they're, like, explicitly not supposed to be able to do that. In fact, that would be considered a security hazard. During the production process, when experienced bioresonant technicians copy that neural pattern to a new unit, a majority of episodic memories are altered and suppressed. While the resulting replica maintains the skills and personality of the original Gestalt, it will be incapable to recall specific events from the life of the donor under normal circumstances. This ensures the replica performs its duties without distractions created by personal memories of the donor. However, even the best-maintained replica unit will eventually be exposed to stimuli that may cause Gestalt memories to resurface. While units degraded in such a way pose no particular danger, like all units with persona degradation, they will eventually lose many of their advantages over Gestalt workers. Because persona degradation is usually difficult to identify from the outside, bioresonance is used by command units to surveil units under their command. Generally, it is recommended to swiftly decommission and replace units before their productivity decreases or they begin to show clear signs of individuality. When ammunition is rationed, alternative ways of decommissioning may be deployed at the discretion of local operational command. So basically, they kill us when we start to be people. Well, that's what you're saying? No space to carry developing tank. Oh no, I'm gonna have to come back here. Oh man, how much ammo do we have? We've got the grenade, that's it. That's all we've got. Nope. You're just stuffing everything everywhere. Outside is screaming. There was actually a door over here then, according to the map. And it unlocks from the other side, so that's cool. We might have to make a run for it at some stage. Let's try this again. This door literally just won't open without the flashlight, so I can't be smart about this. Get around you. Again, there's nothing I can do about that, because I need the flashlight and I cannot stop you from aggroing. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, flare shells, go. Just run. That requires a key. Through here. And get scared by my reflection again. Haven't had that happen in a while. But we do have an auto-injector if we need health. There's a picture of a magpie on the box, above what looks like a small speaker or a microphone. So do we need to find magpie music then? Teacher's evaluation, Ariane Young. The girl, without a doubt, is remarkably odd, certainly due to her being raised solely by her mother rather than by a community of good people overseen by a block warden, as is normal these days. Her obsession with paintings, music, and other such nonsense was clearly implanted during her time living in the mountains on that desolate radio outpost. And surely her friendship with those Vignettan-born Itau sisters, also exposed her to some of the questionable literature which is illegally sold in their parents' bookstore. She doesn't seem to understand that these distractions are no longer acceptable now that she must partake in the society of our nation like anyone else. Personally, I can only hope military service will beat those frivolous ideas out of her in a way that school has failed to do so far. Maybe we were running away together. Maybe we should have. Okay, there's something here. But it doesn't appear to be getting a reaction. Sounds like something. But it's continuing to not open. Okay, I'm actually doing this again, simply in the interest of preserving ammo. So you're down. We're gonna wait a second. Hang on. Only because I know I can do this better, so I reloaded it. This time around, we're gonna do that. Juke around. And this time, we don't have to ever talk to you again, because the map has made me realize that we can run up here, you'll come out, open this, and we can now go through there, back into the apartment, so we don't need to worry about any of that ever again. You can also grab the Nitro Express ammo from the table here. You've got more stuff, but like I said before, I think I'll waste more ammo trying to get it than I'll get from it. We never did actually check out any of these other things. My god, that storm. And I think we just found where we use that valve wheel. Okay, so what about the other way then? Lots of dudes. Nobody here in waste disposal. Garbage containers. Itao, that name again. Alright, so we'll need to find the code. So let's put that hand wheel there. And turn off the fire that was probably being used to protect whoever's beyond this barrier. Although at this point I'm convinced I'm the only real person on Earth. For a given value of real. Interesting. UV light. Pick up acetone. Huh, it actually was exactly what we needed. So we'll bring that back to the painting. But anytime we're entering new areas, it's also an exploratory mission. We can never check the lockers. What kind of survival horror game is this? What kind of survival horror game is this indeed? Stunprod good. And it won't take up a slot because we already have it. This looks like... Oh yeah, of course. Of course we can drop down the meat chute. It looks like a lot of things have already been dropped down the meat chute. Can't go that way. One puzzle at a time, game. There's something here as well. We only have one more free space. That's 12 mil. And a blue diskette. Maybe we can use that in the computer beside the save room? Use blue diskette? Of course. Oh no, are we playing Voices of the Void? Read me. Due to the power rationing, only a limited number of antennas in the grid are powered at a time. To determine which antennas are currently powered, use the antenna program to triangulate the correct antenna. Take note of the antenna where the test signal can be heard on both dishes. In the transmit program, enter the antenna number and select the correct sound file to broadcast. Oh, I see. We need to set up the antenna, set up the transmit, and presumably that'll unlock something since we use sounds for codes, which is actually kind of cool. So it says we're looking for the point where the test signal can be heard on both dishes, but I don't know how to do that. Oh, well, we can change the file here, which we obviously want Magpie. Maybe... Okay, so that's 210. Maybe if I have my own radio on, that'll make a difference? It is. Okay, so it's over here. Oh, that's really clever. Okay, so, alright, so now we need the other one to be all the way down at 125. Yeah. Boop. Now we need you. And you're just gonna sweep up until we can hear what we need. Right there, Tower 43. Alright, and that should work then, right? 43. And send. File's been sent to antenna. There's that sound. I was actually, like, taken a little aback when I heard that. Let's turn it off for now because it gives me the creeps, but honestly, that is really awesome because there are so many things in this game that you see them and they sort of implant themselves into your brain. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. Like, certain elements of this, certain sounds and sets of words seem to be designed to be impactful without knowing the meaning. And then when they reappear later in some sort of actual context, it's like you're being activated Manchurian Candidate style. Alright, let's turn our radio back on. There you are. We just had to boost the signal. And we got the store key. And no space to carry star, come on. There's never any room for anything. I also just realized there's some health there. Let's use the acetone. Lovers. And what do we do with that? A tarot card depicting the 6th major arcanum. Lovers. Well, that's inconvenient. There was still stuff back there that I never got to get. Maybe I should have kept it on me. That's so annoying. Denying the access to materials forever because I didn't have enough room. Anyways, I was thinking I have a ton of grenade rounds, and this might be a good spot to try them out. There we go. Both of you down. And pop. And pop. Okay, I think you're both dead. And we can get a whole bunch of 12 mil. And again, no space to carry repair patch, so that's cool. You can also pick up the star card. A tower card depicting the 17th major arcanum star. So we're clearly gonna have to eliminate you guys. So bang. Wow, you went down quick, and that is lucky for me. Boop. 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 Nope, I'm gonna need you to boop some more. And bang. And bang. Good holy moly. It's always right down to the wire in these encounters. I gotta start using my doomsday weapons more, because I'm at the point where I've kept them for later for so long that I have more doomsday weapons than actual ammo. Unlocks from the other side, just like everything else in this place. And unlocks from the other side, just like everything else in this place. So that was totally useless. What happens if we do try to drop down the meat grinder? Seems to be broken, but it looks safe to drop through the floor below. I mean, sure, we have a save. What was that about? I mean, she wasn't looking too hot, but I can't help but think that had the distinct vibe of a boss. Oh, look, there's like a shadow on the ground, or rather a stain. Like someone decomposed there and was only later removed. Look at this place. Oh, teeth. Wait. That's like the note that we found on the ship. Pick up tower. Well, I've got another card. A tarot card depicting the 16th major arcanum, Tower. Millions starve as Imperial blockade continues. Due to the ongoing transit of Kitej, random shipments to Vignetta have been disrupted by Imperial forces again. Millions of Usan citizens must starve for yet another month as Imperial missile frigates in Kitej orbit critically damage one of our humanitarian convoys on their way to Vignetta, sending diplomatic efforts with the Empire into another crisis. Or is that just your version? The orbit of Kitej will continue to block free travel between Vignetta, Rotfront, and Heimat for another 8 seasons, which leaves our liberation troops on Vignetta stranded on the desolate ocean world with minimal support. Convoys will continue to be sent despite the Imperial blockade. Only through perseverance can we rebuild what remains of Vignetta. And more 8mm ammo, which I will not take right now because I'm low on space, and I do not have the gun. There's some... is that 10mm? No, that's shotgun. Actually, I will take that. It's a lot of it, too. And I do have a shotgun on me. Oh, 55, 55, 55. It's always a jump scare when these things come in, but it's a different kind of jump scare because it requires you to respond. You could always hunt for it, too. Ow. Come on. Come on, you're hitting me from really far away. I can't see. Dodge around, come on. I can't move, and I can't see, and I can't do anything. Please. Please, please tell me what I need to do. And there I am, completely annihilated. But we've got another save point. I'm gonna have to get back in there and do it. It wasn't showing me another number. Alright, the strat now is I run out, 209. Whoa! A whole lot of stuff going on out here. What did I miss? I love trying to evade enemies when I can't see or do anything. I want to wait for every enemy in the room to bunch up, and then I'm just gonna grenade them. Here. Here, come on. Can you give me something to work with? Perhaps today, please. I can't see anything. 249. 249. Straight to the end. There you go. And... Yaboop! I think that might have damaged me a bit as well, but you know what? I don't even care. There we are. And let's get back in there and heal. Good lord. Now, we actually have a bunch of repair spray pluses. We also have a whole bunch of auto injectors and regular repair sprays and repair kits, so we're just going to take all of these and turn them into pluses because I don't see any reason not to. These auto injectors are meant to be used as, like, an emergency lifesaver, but I haven't really had much use for them in that regard. Let's try going through here, then. There's some 12mm ammo here, which I'm not going to take for the moment. You're a guy right there. Where are we relative to everything else? We're down this corridor. So we're going to want to open that stuff up. That's our way back. Wow, this is depressing. Imagine this being the view from your apartment. Or whatever this is supposed to be. 194. Okay, it's a one of these. Again. Didn't expect you so soon. I'm really starting to hate putting enemies in the middle of this. Like, it just makes it impossible. And I see a guy in the corner there. Alright, you gonna give me another thing? Is it better to just to, like, back out and come back in? Like, is that a thing? 136? Like, because at least I get a number right away. And it seems to retain damage. There we go. It is. That's the strat. Stay down. Die. Die. Come on, push back. Push back. Die. And zap. Speaking of zap, there we go. Reunification. Reunification at any cost. Orbital defense cannon battery, vignette at 12. Beyond and Katej in our crosshairs. And here we are. Oh, it's a whole thing. Well, that sucks. Everything is just infested. So if we try to move forward, you'll crawl out from under the dumpster. Alright, but we're gaining a decent amount of ammo for all that we're using. So, okay, I think now's the time to stop and rearm ourselves. So further scouting reveals that the enemies up in that hallway are pretty much all shield bearers. So what I'm gonna do is use the revolver, and I'm gonna burn every body. But we're gonna start with a shot from a flare gun, and then we'll see where we go from there. I would do this with a grenade to knock a bunch of them down, but I'm not sure if that'll cost the flare that's already in there. Alright, so you're down. Switch to this. You're down. Okay, move up and stomp, and then ow! And then you need to die. So goodbye, goodbye, and stomp. As for the rest of you. Oh, come on, oh, God, I hate it when they're behind the black like that. It makes no sense. And it applies to like half of all environments in the game. Goodbye. Stomp. I can't tell if I'm stomping you or not. But there we are, burning you, thank you. And just like that, there goes all of the revolver ammo we had built up. And I think I see now why we weren't able to get through here from the other side. So that's an issue. Oh wait, that looks like a garbage chute. Can we use... Oh my God, we can. Well, that's not what I meant to do. I thought it would give me like a prompt first. But hey, we got more revolver ammo, so silver linings. Oh. This is where we were before. This is where we had that first psychic battle. I hadn't even gotten a chance to take it in. There's more of those shadows. Okay, we don't have room for really anything. But I guess the trains are still running. That is so creepy. You guys are not gonna stay dead. We'll have to make sure that you do. And we can't go through that way. That displayed something different for just a moment. This is locked and requires a key. This does actually open. Well, then there's a whole bunch of things here as well, because, you know, why wouldn't there be? I mean, why would it be any other way? Why would there be anything besides hallways full of ammo sinks? There goes the store key, which gets us into here, and will presumably get us the birth dates of those sisters, right? Developer fluid, thank you. And there they are. People's Army, 5th Venetian Infantry Division, Unit 12. The shelves have been emptied. The outlines of various photographic equipment and price tags can still be seen in the dust on the shelves. And of course, we can't go out that way. I'm thinking I can probably run up, unless there's two of you, of course. Never mind, but we can unlock that from the other side and get through here. And now we gain access to this area. But we still can't get behind this. There's a note right here, the red eye. There exists a strange folklorish idea in many sectors of Rotfund related to pareidolia, the tendency to see meaningful images in random patterns, like seeing a face in an ink blot or letters in a smudge of dirt. It's well known that the so-called red eye is simply an anticyclonic storm produced by a high-pressure region in the atmosphere of Rotfund's planet. Sure thing. Yet for some of the early settlers of Rotfront, this natural phenomenon became symbolic of their struggle and way of life. That red spot in the sky became a perfect metaphor for the ever-present surveillance by the Protectors and the tight grip of the central government on Heimat. Even today, the idea of an unblinking, watchful eye observing their every move still resonates strongly with the people here. During the celebration of Monfest at the end of each season, adult citizens will sometimes give students ration marks that have been dipped in red paint. Officially, the red paint is said to represent the blood of those who died in the Revolution, but the red coins share an eerie resemblance to that red eye. Or is this just pareidolia too? Should you ever receive one of these red eye ration marks, remember to clean off the paint with acetone or a similar paint thinner. Spending or regifting paint-covered coins is considered to bring bad luck. You're back up again already. It's just, this game almost like deconstructs the idea of meaningful images. And we had not been in here before. Look, we even get great shadows when one of these flies or moths passes in front of the light. Let's grab another of these thermite flares. We're full up now, though. No space for Nitro Express ammo. Bioresonance technology and its limitations. No other technology has shaped our nation as bioresonance has. Would we ever have been able to free ourselves from the stranglehold of the Empire without the support of replicas? Essential technologies like climaforming and induced gravity would be impossible without bioresonance technology. Despite that, it feels like we made little effort to really understand or replicate bioresonant effects with conventional technology. Our progress in the development of electronics and microprocessors has stagnated for nearly a century now as we focus solely on new ways to instrumentalize this barely understood phenomenon. Take replica production, for example. The process of duplicating a neural pattern from a gestalt donor to a replica brain is still not fully understood. How does synchronicity happen? Why is the duplicate imperfect? What happens to pre-existing patterns in the receiving brain? Recreating a replica purely with microprocessors and digital programming may be far out of reach, but I believe we've become overly dependent on a poorly understood technology, controlled solely by a few gifted individuals. It may not be long before we're back where we were under the Empire. Pareidolia. You might understand that we're meant to use these butterflies as like a Rorschach test. I mean, of course, this appears to be perhaps a set of eyes, but maybe I'm meant to look more deeply than that. Huh. A combination set already to my name, like it was waiting for me. The only other door in this hall we can open is this one. And it doesn't seem like the patients are doing very well. But there's another disc which we can take back with us, but there's just never enough. Just never enough space. So if we take that with us, we can probably drop down here would be our best bet, and run back and see what that gets us at the computer. There we go. Metabank. We're breaking HIPAA here. Kind build, asthma, osteoporosis, severe hearing loss, cochlear implantation suggested. Ariane Young. Insomnia, bruising, premature acrometrichia. I don't know how to say that, but I guess that's the whitening of the hair, maybe? Doctor's notes removed. Okay, but as for the Atau sisters, we can use those to get their date of birth and therefore the combination. No, I'm not sure if there's anything else that needs to be seen here. But with those, 560524, that's going to be the key. Erica was, which did flash on the screen at various points, that name. Very active in sporting activities. And Isolde, I don't friggin' know what these names. Major laceration to the forehead. Regularly treated for small lesions, very prone to accidents. 560524. There we go. And that gets us to here. Any reason why that might be a problem? Song of the Gods. Possession and distribution of this publication is prohibited and punishable by the 4th Cultural Protection Act. There exists a connection between all of us that few are fully aware of. A song that we all dance to, but few can hear. This deep vibration of the cosmos can not just be heard and felt. We all resonate in harmony with it, shaping it, deforming it around us. The select few who can consciously perceive it often fear it. Too oppressive is the sound of the stars, too invasive the noise of the unaware around them, polluting the song with their fickle emotions. But every once in a while, some are born that can not only hear and play this music of the worlds, but who can conduct it. Gifted individuals capable of manipulating the essence of the world around them. Many believe that the Grand Empress is such a being. Her immense will bent humanity into the empire of the Yusin and lifted us to the stars. It was her power that imbued life into the first of the machine servants that now carry the weight of the empire on their carbon steel backs. Even this civilization has almost a fairy tale history to it. Told more as mythology rather than history. I couldn't find her. I've looked everywhere, but she's not here anymore. I can't go on. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I don't even know what to make of that. Don't you hate it when your new friend dissolves? Although maybe not new. That's what we're seeing, is that all this has happened before, but we're seemingly aware of the length of time that's passed. Even if I have ideas, I don't know how to put it to words. Prometheus. Here I sit forming mortals after my image, a race resembling me, to suffer, to weep, to enjoy, to be glad, and thee to scorn as I. Erica. The picture is badly damaged. Well, we already know how to fix that. And what I'm realizing is that this whole thing, if it's not just like a metaphor for something we experienced outside of all of this, I don't know, the whole thing just has a huge sense of loss hanging over it. Like, we have the person we're pursuing, yes, but it almost feels like it's coming at the cost of so many others. Use. What do you mean I can't use here? But I guess it's just as well, because I didn't see this earlier. Resonant phenomena. Synchronicity. Phenomena that are meaningfully related, yet lack a causal connection. We've yet to discover the true source of the ability of the mind to alter the physical world, yet creating physical phenomena remotely simply by consciously or unconsciously willing them into existence forms a basis for the entire field of bioresonance technology. So while this is technology, we understand it so little that it almost might as well be magic. Before the advent of bioresonance technology, acausal correlations were often falsely interpreted simply as chance. Many phenomena, such as remote viewing, doppelgangers, or the Pauli effect, have since been classified as synchronistic phenomena related to bioresonant effects. The world we live in would be impossible without bioresonance, but its origins remain unclear. If it was truly a divine gift from outer space, as the late Empress claimed, why was she defeated by our great revolutionary, who had no such divine powers? And we can pick up the image of death. This is like a shrine to them or something. We still got plenty of room as well. How does this fit into the overall thing? We can open from the back and run through the alley to get our stuff. Grab some more 8mm ammo from here. We can get shotgun rounds. I need everything I can get my hands on. Those are repair patches, because everything's closing off. You're always full on stuff. It's just becoming so much more difficult to navigate. One of the last unexplored places is right here, so let's go for it. That's a lot of things. We can do some sneaking. Can't go through there. Oh no. Which way you gonna go, bud? What's it gonna be? Belong here. We can go through here. Any other doors? Gotta try this one at the end. Both are accessible. But it is sneakable. Well, this looks real dark and scary. A matrix code scanner. Alright, I don't even know what to use that with yet, but it doesn't seem like we can interact. Could this potentially be? Yes, okay. Anything we can do to increase our mobility is exceptionally useful in my book. Alright, clearly I'm meant to stare at the patterns on these things, so let's actually see this. To me, those look like eyes. Then again, there's certain shapes in each of these. I mean, that sort of looks like an E, I guess. And that an A, so wait, so are those available on here? E is, A is as well. Okay, that's a thing. That could be O, and that may be N, or they could trick us with a Z? Nice, that was really cool. And actually a little bit unsettling. I mean, it's a puzzle that you literally solve by staring at shapes until a pattern emerges. And what are these things? Oh, cocoons. Well, we got the moon card, which I believe leaves us with just one more left to find, right? Oh, let's grab that nitro ammo while we're here as well. We got so much rifle ammo. But the problem with survival horror games for me is that I end up hoarding the WMDs until some boss fight that never comes. I see. It's removing the cards. That's what causes this to happen. Anytime we take one, the power of this stuff grows. Oh, I completely forgot about this thing. I knew there was something else to do with this room. Okay, we got that. Developing tanks. That obviously goes with the developer fluid. I don't have it on me right now. So I'm gonna have to climb back down. And I still haven't figured out how to get the ring on the atrium. So combine you with you. The photograph that was inside the developing tank. Photo shows some kind of digital dot matrix code. I wonder what kind of machine could process this code. Well, as it happens, that's not even a mystery anymore because we've just uncovered exactly what such machine does such a thing. There we are. Please don't do anything horrible. And there's the final card, Sun. And a note. Leaving. I've been found out. I'm sure the white-haired girl working at the photo store in Sector C is bioresonant. Be careful. They don't pay me enough to take any more risks. I'm on the next ship to Catej tomorrow. Meet me at the docks in Sector N if you want to bail too. Sun. Found the Imperial spy. But I guess that's all there is to that. I imagine that these cards are going to have something to do with the thing in the front room, the mural, but I have no idea how to actually interpret that. Well, something's changed. And now this is here. Can't examine that corpse that wasn't there before. The light well above has been consumed by the mass of meat, releasing some debris that was caught in the nets above. The dial ring. Oh, and now we can edit the middle one. Rotfront, the area we are now, at least I believe so, has been missing that, so now they can all be changed. Has anything changed through here? No. Alright, well, let's have a look. Or maybe we can combine them all. Can't combine them. Okay, so what do I make of them then? Oh my god, I've been running around for so long trying to figure out where this thing goes, and you know, maybe I shouldn't have, maybe it wasn't worth the time, maybe it wasn't worth the effort. This is the welcome I'm gonna receive. Dream diary. 6th night. I dreamt I was an Imperial farmer. I embraced my lover in the red deserts of Catej when a storm consumed us. The sand grinding us down until nothing remained. 13th night. I was a worker in the mines of Lang when I was consumed by a shapeless mass of flesh, my flesh joining with the flesh of many others until only my bones remained. My mind joined the collective of flesh which persists beyond death. 16th night. As a storm raged in the sky, I fell from a ruined skyscraper on Vignetta, but I never reached the ocean below. I kept falling when suddenly lightning struck the building, and I woke up. 18th night. I was floating in the sunless sea below the ice of Rotfront when I saw a large creature move in the darkness below me, in the moon's dark core. 19th night. And just actually syncing up with the cards, I saw a burning eye in the sky above the clouds of Bayan. I was walking through the floating Imperial Palace when the gaze of the sun-like iris burned my body to ashes. The eye in the sky. Oh, I see. Oh, wait, that switch works. Huh. Something is exposed under UV light. Okay, well, forget that. I need to parse this. So, Katej, you're gonna be the lover? I don't have any of this stuff. Oh, I gotta go get it all. So Katej is going to be the lovers. So we'll use that there. And what's next? 13th will be death. And that goes into Lang. And then we've just got to do this one by one. 16th is Vignetta. 18th is Rotfront. 19th is Bayan, which means that Heimat can only be Star. So they're all together. And the UV reveals the pattern. Either way, this looks like something we should probably take a picture of. So let's do that. And photograph. I'm actually going to take one photo with the lights on. And then one with the lights off so that we can see the planet names. Some of you guys might be like, why don't you record a different time if the wind is going to be so loud? Guys, I'm putting out a video every single day of the week. When I have a moment to record, I am taking it. Alright, view photographs. So we start with Bayan, which is full. Alright, I'm done now, but it doesn't seem to be working. The only thing I can think is that maybe if we fill this out... No. Oh, well, I guess that would also mean that this gets flipped. And that did something, and... That doesn't seem like a regular, like, mechanism that we might have built. That seems more like the stuff of nightmares. In fact, it's a nightmare we've already had. You know, from the first time I looked through this hole, when we first arrived at this section, I knew what this was gonna be. And there's that safe in the corner again. Black and white pictures of the paintings Ariane used to make. The last seal has been broken. It's time to go home. Pick up the king in yellow? No, not yet. The computer screen is blank. Ariane's old radio transmitter, it's still transmitting. The door won't open yet. This time I don't need to turn off the light, rather than I don't want to. But we do recognize this entirely as her room. Old Imperial serials. Ariane loved reading these. Textbooks on radio operation. These used to belong to her mother. Yeah, I don't know what else to do with this except to maybe have it playing when I go in. It says 14.195.00, but I don't know if there's anything I can do with that with the 14. Or maybe just 4. I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's pick it up. I have saves before this. Let's pick up the king in yellow. And for the first time, we see this room in regular vision. And another save room. A suspiciously generous save room. Well, this is what we've been saving for. Auntie's note. Ariane, I left some of yesterday's dinner in the fridge for you. You can warm it up when you get back from school. Please pick up the books your uncle ordered from the Atau bookstore on your way home. Remember to leave some space in your school bag for them this time so they don't get wet. Workforce assignment for Ariane Young. We've been informed that your compulsory military service period was recently completed. According to our files, you previously graduated from Mandelbrot Polytechnical High School in Rotfront Sector C, and have recently submitted an application for a military service assignment, the Penrose program. You've been processed by Yan Workforce Assignment. Previous work experience, store clerk part-time, compulsory military service, and long-range radio operations officer training. Should you not be accepted by a military service program by the end of the season or find other employment, you will be assigned the following workplace: Sierpinski Production and Mining Facility on Lang. I can't put the pieces together, but they're starting to rhyme. Letter from Mother. My dearest Ariane, I'm so glad you're feeling better again. I was very worried when I heard from your aunt that you're in the hospital again. I still remember how you used to get sick so much as a child. Please don't overexert yourself, okay? The photo you sent me is very interesting. What a strange coincidence that she looks so much like you. You could be twins. Perhaps she's related to us somehow, though I don't know anyone named Sio in our family. From the looks of it, it was shot on vignetta. Your military service will begin soon, so you might be wearing a uniform like her soon enough. Please send me a photo when that happens. Love, Mother. Not entirely one and the same. Actually, a lot of these things almost seem like mutually exclusive realities, but it's also like I'm seeing her world, which is strange. This might be foolish because I'm going to seriously undermine my ability to do a lot of damage quickly, but I am taking all the WMDs. I'm actually going to put away the pistol ammo, even though it just gave me a ton, because I'm going all in on the heaviest of hitters. We'll get the auto injectors, and we'll be ready for a rough time. This is the end. Leave forever? Yes. Wait. Let's get our... We have no implants. We can't use our flashlight. And we're heading off into nothing. Adler's note. All efforts to contain this illness have been in vain. All the Gestalt workers have succumbed to it, leaving only dark shadows on walls and floors where they died. And soon, all of us replica will have lost our senses and turned to writhing masses of flesh. I now believe it was not an infectious disease, nor some form of poison or radiation. It was a slow corruption of reality itself. As I've relived the same cycle over and over, each time details changed. Things are twisted, added, removed. How long until it all turns to nothing but noise? That's the most concrete thing we've heard by a long shot. A red dream, a crashed ship, a strange gate, a hole in the ground, an island beyond reach, memories from other lives, dreams of suffering and loneliness, a promise, a search for someone lost. I saw her in the red emptiness waiting for me. We had made a promise. As the memories of a stranger rushed into my mind, I felt the borders of myself blur. Now I can no longer tell where Falk ends and Elster begins. When consciousnesses are merged, the self begins to disappear. Stop. You must turn back. There is nothing for you there. You've tried so many times, and you've failed every time. Don't you see that you're ruining everything? This is your final warning. Adler. So we're what completes the loop, the cycle, and he's trying to stop us from doing it again. Falk's memory. We were dancing to that song they start the broadcast with. We fell asleep watching that movie we had seen so many times before. If only I could take us back to that time when we were happy. These memories are mine now. It's the island. Different every time, but still the same. Why did you return? There's nothing for you here. She'll never dance with us again. No matter what we do. She doesn't even want us anymore. Both of us were incomplete. Let us become whole again. Well, I have a solution for that. And just a reload there. Come on now. You're down. Injured badly? That is some crazy recoil. I think there was like a limit of like 6. Okay, well, never mind, because I've got these. Kaboom! Hang on, let me just load up another. I got more. Kaboom! Another. Kaboom! Oh, that, Your old self flashed for a moment. Kaboom! Oh no, am I not gonna have enough ammo? Kaboom! And that's it. I'm actually out. I kind of thought that whatever boss I encountered, that would be enough. I mean, that was a lot of hurt I bestowed upon you. Maybe I can do something with your weapons that you threw down? Pick up spear? Oh, I get it. I get it. Yep. What do you mean I can't use that here? Oh, do I have to combine it with something? I mean, there's no description. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to reload this. Can't use it. Oh no. Oh, it is a phased boss fight. Yep, nope, this was not what I needed. None of this was what... Oh, well, there's shotgun rounds. Too bad I don't have a shotgun. Okay, well, I got more Nitro Express. Ow. And we're healing. You are bending reality itself back to the hospital where she spent so much time. But I need more something. You just kind of died. Did you get hit by one of the spears? Yep. To be most honest... Oh, I see. I just have to walk up and click on you. Alright. We got so much repair spray. I am currently dying, so that's good, I guess. Use... Ow. Grenade shells. Don't mind if I do. Reload. Actually, there's all manner of stuff here. I will take another of... Oh, I guess not. I'm just spending so much time trying to outlast you. Nope, no 10 mil. You've got a new reality warping ability, which I cannot actually avoid if I'm in the wrong position. I've got to get my hands on another of those. I got to get my hands on another of those things, spears. So we're gonna destroy the shotgun shells. You're on the ground. Destroy the shotgun shells. Click. Alright, I see what to do now. Even if we don't win this, I know what to do now. Now you've got a shield. You're determined to beat every type of boss fight in existence, aren't you? Ow. You're not difficult, but your boss fight definitely feels like reality's coming apart. I wish I had come with volume and not heavy hits. Well, that'll do that. And now we can walk up and do that. You know, maybe heavy hits can have their uses, though. Just give me more stuff. Come on. Oh, yeah, okay, you're doing the thing again where you're difficult because I can't see. Ow. Actually, give me that, give me that, give me that. Ah. Tell you what, we can knock all of you out in one hit. There we go. Do we have anything else left? We have a couple more shells. And if I can just get a hit on you, you will go down. There we go. And now we can walk up and banish thee. But it just keeps going. Come on, just throw some of those spears at me, please. I need some. Okay, they're gonna do their timey-wimey nonsense. I'm going to take one, which means you can now die at any time. Problem is, you've got more shields, and I cannot afford to miss at all. Like, at all. Bang. Oh, come on, did that not work? Well, that sucks, because I have 0 ammo now. But you can just get on down there anyway. Thank you. Another one for your collection. Violent scene missing. Now we are one. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Once again, you've returned. Are you really willing to go through with this once more? You've seen what happens. This world cannot take much more. This may be our last chance. If you go back, it'll all fall apart. I can't let that happen. You selfish monster. You'll destroy everything. It always has to end right back where it started. Penrose briefing, Phase 2. Start of decrypted transmission. By our calculations, 1,500 cycles of mission time will have passed when you receive this message. Congratulations, by now you should have become fully acclimatized to your new life on board your ship. As you approach the Oort Cloud, your search for new worlds will begin. Remember to rely on your replica to assist you in maintaining your vessel. We all wish you great success in your mission. We've seen this before. There's nowhere to go but forward. Towards Cryo. No, only back down towards our own stasis pod. Cycle 225. When I signed up for this mission, I just wanted to get away from everything. I was sick of Rotfront, of school, of the photo store, sick of the fake smiles and the whispering behind people's backs. When I saw the photo of that soldier, I wondered who she was. Was she happy? Was her family proud of her? Did her comrades love her? Since we looked alike, could I have been like her? But in the end, I just wanted to leave. Nothing I had done or made ever meant anything to anyone, so why bother? Here I'm finally free. I get to be by myself and do what I want. I can finally be happy. Wait, but I can't climb down. Can't move to the side either. I can go here. Cycle 648. Talk some more to the Elster unit. She's different from the replicas I knew back home. Nothing like my teachers or the Blockwart Protector. I know she didn't have a choice, but it feels like she's also here because she didn't fit in. It's like we've run away from the world together. At first I didn't like having someone around, and I was glad that she's quiet and didn't approach me. But lately I've missed having someone I can talk to. It's been so long since I've last seen another person. I never thought I'd miss it. Except her. Everything is the same in here, always. Nothing ever changes. Start of decrypted transmission. Congratulations, you've survived 3,000 cycles, reaching the final phase of the Penrose program. With the end of the operational lifetime of your replica unit approaching, it's time to prepare for the final phase of your mission. If you've not found a suitable world for landing by this point, accept that you will not. Find solace in the thought that others might be successful where you failed. As you're probably aware, your ship's spare parts and rations will soon be depleted. Life support systems and reactor shielding will soon begin to fail, and radiation may begin to leak from the cooling system. We recommend you do not attempt to prolong your suffering by reusing old filters or rationing supplies. Instead, make peace with your fate. We suggest that you ask your replica, while it is still functional, to spare you a slow and agonizing death, or that you take permanent rest in the cryogenic pod. This was extremely likely to be a one-way trip, and they may or may not have told you that. Well, I suppose they did after it was well underway. Maybe what we're seeing has just been our replica mind degrading after like eons of attempts to salvage something from this. Remember, you will die having served your nation by partaking in a glorious demonstration of our power. We were sent out here to die together. Another unfinished painting. There was never enough time. Cycle 1294. Had a strange dream. I was listening to the radio with my mother. Like back then, the numbers were on, and Mother was taking notes with a book on our lap. It was that book I saw in the shop window of the bookstore where the twins lived. The one with a yellow-hooded figure on the cover. When I went there to buy it, it was gone, and Erica said the protectors had confiscated it. Or was it Issa? I can't remember. Cycle 1840. Everything is always the same. I feel like I'm trapped inside this ship. I know every bolt on every panel and every room of it. I've seen everything. I've done everything there is to do in here. I can't concentrate on anything. It's like there's this fog inside my head. And whenever I try to do anything, I just can't focus. I want to go outside. I want to breathe fresh air. I want to feel the wind on my face and in my hair. Cycle 2503. I think I lost more hair. I'm sitting here getting older. Every time I wake up, I feel older, weaker, sicker. I get out of breath so easily lately, and my back hurts when I sit down. How much longer will this go on? It feels like I'm just slowly dying. We built this relationship, and the worst part of it all is that we're gonna last, or we did last, so much longer. It's not just a game about parallels and mirrors, but about repetition and about everything blending together as the same things happen over and over, but getting worse each time. It's almost a game about aging. Really, it's a game about growing old together. Cycle 5 something, but like well farther than we should have survived. I'm tired of it all. Every time I go to sleep, I wonder if I'll wake up again. I'm scared that it'll be the last time I said goodnight to her. Did I say it right? Will she be okay? What if one of us just won't wake up tomorrow? Cycle something. I don't want to die. I don't want to live anymore either. Everything is just so exhausting. I just want to lie down and disappear. I just want to sleep. Please just let me sleep. Please just make it stop. Please. Maybe Elster, in her determination, was keeping her alive. Far past where she would have wanted, just out of desperation. I couldn't keep my promise. Despite my best efforts, I eventually fell ill too. It had to end this way. Now that we're seeing it, you're fully aware of what this all means. There's no more drive. You know that this is all in the past. It's time. This is all that's left. Go home? Yes. Remember our promise. Elster. I can't do it. You have to do it. It's time for this to end. Please. I'm sorry. Thank you. So that was Signalis, and I was worried for so long that I would come away without any understanding, but as all of these things go, it ends up being a very complex, very grand scale way to describe something that just about everyone either has related to or will relate to. There are no happy endings, and even in the best of circumstances, what they had was a place where two quiet people who like to keep themselves found something with each other and the perfect environment to grow that. In fact, the only environment where that could grow, the only place where it would be allowed. They got their ideal outcome, but that outcome had to come out somewhere. It was inevitable. And it ended up becoming a horror story simply because of the determination to keep what they had for as long as they could. What we were seeing, everything that we went through, was just a metaphor for that deterioration. The thing is, you could say that none of what we went through was literally real, but I suppose in a way it was. Because what else is this life but a cosmic horror story, right? Where this is the best we can hope for? So the way the sickness is described, not as a poison or an infection, but as a distorting of reality itself, I suppose that could even be seen as a distorting of our own mind. In the end, that's what it was. You could see it as an elderly couple where one person's mind is faltered while the other person's body has. In the end, neither is fit to take care of the other, and it's just a downward spiral for both of them, the worst of both worlds. There's a lot of different ways you could interpret this. I think there's a lot of different things you could get from it, and I think that's why this game has such rave reviews on Steam. It sets out to do what Silent Hill 2 did, where it's using these very high-concept horror settings in order to convey something very simple and relatable. But you don't realize that until the end. But I think there's something subconsciously that... Oh, there's our stats. It's probably going to be pretty embarrassing once I actually start to read this. But while what it's literally about doesn't become clear until the very end, the entire time, that tinge of dread begins to grow and starts as something very unspecific. And I think over time it takes shape more and more without you really being able to see what it is. At first you may think it's just pareidolia, you think you know what it is, but you can never quite land on it. And you always feel like that I think by the time you get to the end, you realize, yes, that is what I've been looking at this entire time. And that's the real strength of games like this. By packaging it into this, mind-bending sci-fi cosmic horror story, it almost makes it more palatable than if it had just been relaying all this to it literally. And I don't know why that is, but it certainly is true. But now the only question is, how do we get those other endings? I almost can't imagine this ending any other way, but I don't promise I'm going to go for all of them, but I am going to tab out now. and see what we can do, but we have to hold any key to continue, so let's just see if it brings us back to the menu. Will we be able to keep our saves? Oh, we can switch profiles, so that's nice. I hadn't even read that before. We can load our saves, so maybe we can do something differently. So, I'm reading through the endings, and the way you get them is very like old school survival horror, and to be honest, I don't really like this, because it's less about... It's more about how you play than what you do, and like decisions you make, which I think is a little... It's kind of vague and hard to do. I'm definitely not going back for them, but I'll leave them out. So we got the promise ending, which of the three main ones I'm actually happy I got, seems like the best one. In the leave ending, Elster doesn't enter the ship, unable to keep her promise to Ariane. To get this ending, players need to heal immediately after getting hit, take a long time to complete the game, and spend a very long time in the flashback scene that takes place on the Penrose. And it's as if the Elster of this playthrough doesn't want to keep her promise to Ariane, going so far as to leave the ship to not have to face her. In the memory ending, Elster enters the ship and finds Ariane inside the open hibernation capsule, but the white-haired girl doesn't recognize her. Elster decides not to keep her promise, sitting next to Ariane and wait. To get this ending, players need to play like a veteran Resident Evil player. They must complete the game quickly, avoid fights when possible, and talk to every NPC. This version of Elster is much closer to the lone survivor described in the in-game instruction manuals than the human companion Ariane remembers, leading the girl to not recognize her in the end. And there is a secret ending, which, oh boy, there's like a lot of specific things you have to do that would not be made clear at all, but I suppose it has to do with like listening in at certain frequencies at certain places, which I think we might have even heard some of these. Basically, it involves getting the numbers that we received in the beginning of the game. Those actually act as the safe combination. Opening the safe leads to the SIGNALIS secret ending, during which many Elster replicas sacrifice themselves, leading to a scene where Elster and Ariane dance together as they did in a flashback. This ending seems to be a memory that Elster sent to Ariane via radio, and is particularly interesting when juxtaposed with what Falk says right before her fight before the normal endings. "We are not whole. No matter what you do, she will never dance with us again." So the best thing we can do is to go out on a good memory. I suppose I can kind of see the logic in this, where I guess the way you play sort of shows your level of dedication and determination in this goal, but it also seems really out there where I don't know if I could get some of these endings if I tried, and it would be very possible to screw up a run. In summary, though, that was an incredible story that easily lives up to the likes of Silent Hill 2, and some pretty good gameplay also that lives up to Resident Evil. And it certainly is different enough that it carves out its own space to, I think, kind of join them up there and probably, hopefully, become a classic. Actually, hang on a second, I am not done, because I have been thinking about this game non-stop and reading about it continually since I finished it several days ago, so this is me from the future here. And there's a few things that I just couldn't finish this series without at least addressing. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to go through every theory and observation because there is a ton. It's a very abstract and open-ended game, at least partly. And I think a big part of the reason for that is because it does something really interesting where a lot of its symbolism is used in multiple contexts. Things like the painting and the idea of the deep dream, you know? The dream about dreaming. It's one thing to speculate on what certain elements might have meant in the context of the story and the greater themes, but when you apply it in different ways throughout the story, it just expands, like, incalculably the amount of ways you can approach those things. Now, in the last part, I didn't open the letter to Ariane about Elster in the flashback. And the reason I didn't do that was because I was afraid that it would have some kind of negative impact on the ending, because at that time I didn't understand how the endings worked. However, I did look it up between parts, what it would say, and it really wasn't anything we didn't already know. It was essentially warning against too much fraternization with your Elster unit. Now, had I read that at the time, I would have said that's not really telling us anything we don't already know, but others have pointed out that the more significant thing is that Ariane never opened it. She never read it. So you could either see this as a tragedy that could have been averted had she only opened it, or you could see it as she maybe already knew basically what it was going to say and just didn't care to. She already got what she wanted. She's off in the middle of space living her dream, at least for the time being. But speaking of that dream, obviously this has a tragic ending, and that was actually alluded to throughout the entire thing. I mean, you have Falk, essentially Sleeping Beauty, on that table, and then there was the tomb in that one area that only opens up in the wall after, I believe it's after we talked to Issa. There was a note on that space previously that, I don't remember what exactly it said, but I do know that in editing it led me to believe that that's what triggers it. And once there was that reference to the sleeping dreamer in a sea of flesh. Now, this is really important because some of the later story sort of implies or outright states that Ariane is an extremely powerful bioresonant entity. And so one way to interpret this story, if you believe that it's happening literally and isn't just a result of Elster degrading over like eons after failing to keep her promise, you could view it as reality actually distorting as Ariane's mind and body degrade. And therefore, everything that we experience, it's not just a loop. All of it happens consecutively. That's why we see all those Elster units in the elevator shaft. That's why everyone seems to be sort of aware of it. There's a sort of connection that exists between them from the get-go due to bioresonance. It's like Adler said, reality is constantly, with each cycle, being torn down and rebuilt with parts in the wrong places. People not being who they are, people having the wrong memories, and all that is just exacerbated by the fact that replicant memory is... I say replicants. I just rewatched the Blade Runner movies as a result of this series because I'm just obsessed now. It's so unreliable, and it's like I said, it's giving us multiple avenues to approach this from. And in the end, I kind of think it's all of the above. That all of these elements are coming together to create just the perfect nightmare for Elster. I mean, all this talk of the red eye, which we could also endlessly speculate on. In the end, Ariane is, if anything, the eldritch being responsible for all of this Lovecraftian horror. But not really responsible, because of course she's not an intentional antagonist. If anyone has agency in that role, it's Elster herself. It's like, in some deep part of her mind, she knows what she has to do, and for who even knows how many cycles, she just hasn't had the strength to do it. And so the determination that comes to define her character is actually her greatest weakness. It's actually the cause of all of this suffering. We develop empathy for all of the remaining survivors that are still in this base. And I think the reason we feel that way is because we kind of feel like this is all our fault without really being able to connect the dots. I don't know, I was just coming back here to talk about all the things that I felt I should talk about in retrospect, and now that I'm here, I realize that there's just so much that I could, that I'm just gonna leave it with my own experience before I taint it with anything anyone's ever said about this game. What I will say is that I've really come to love the community around this game. There's so many like animations and memes that are all like really adorable in stark contrast to what the game's actual tone is. And I actually read a TV Tropes page saying that there's a weird thing where the seriousness of a community will be inversely proportional to the seriousness of the actual game. The more serious the game, the goofier the community. And that is definitely the case here. And I honestly think it's because this is so bleak and depressing that people just have a need to see it work out. And that has been a real palate cleanser for me after playing this game, so I really suggest you seek that stuff out if you feel like you need that. So it's certainly clear to see that this game has had a huge impact, and this game was even recommended to me by a girl named Elster, so what does that tell you? So I think this game has certainly had an impact on people, and that's really saying something, since a game of this tone would normally tend to lock people out and have a pretty small audience. And if you like this series, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.